Hey there, welcome to Tour de Lafayette. I'm your host, Stephen Smith. In this episode, we'll take a tour of the Centennial neighborhood, located just north of the heart of downtown Lafayette. And later, we'll come back to Centennial Park, which is home to the annual Hollyhock Festival. The neighborhood took its name to honor the Centennial School that stood at the corner of 6th and Brown Streets. The school had been built in 1876 during the United States Centennial celebration. It was torn down in 1971 and has been developed into a neighborhood park. We're here in the lobby of the Monon Depot Theater, and we're going to head inside and meet Stephen Kohler, the managing director of the Civic Theater. The Monon Depot is one of the few surviving depots from the once powerful and popular Monon Railroad. The Civic Theater bought it in 1980, and just over a year later, it opened as an intimate theater that can seat an audience of around 150 people. We're here with Stephen Kohler, the managing director at the Civic Theater. And Stephen, if you could tell us a little bit about what the Civic Theater does for the community.
Sure. Civic Theater's been around for 78 years, and what we do generally in a season is we do main stage shows, 5 shows a year here at the Monon Depot Theater.
What do you think the having a smaller, intimate theater like this does for productions?
Well, it does a lot of things. One thing is it really gets the audience in touch with the cast. They give a personal connection one-on-one with the show, which is vital to theater. It's one of the things that separates theater from film or TV.
Stephen, thanks so much for your time. Really
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. We're here at the Loeb House Inn Bed and Breakfast at 708 Cincinnati Street with owner and proprietor Dick Nagel. And Dick, if you can tell us just a little bit about how you came to own this property and what drew you to it.
Well, I had been a hotel manager in town for several years. I have this incredible love of old houses and had decided there wasn't a bed and breakfast in town, and so getting an old house and restoring it into a bed and breakfast seemed like a smart thing to do to me.
Now, the original owner, Emerson Knight, you found a little bit of stuff out about him when you were doing some of the restorations, such as the alarm system that he had put in?
Right. He had moved here from New York City, and the house was completed in the spring of 1882. So I probably started in 1879, the construction on it. And when he built the house, it had several modern conveniences. It had built-in closets, it had an indoor bathroom with a flush toilet, and it had central heat, but it also had this burglar alarm system. It had to have been a very early building in the country, maybe even the world, to have this equipment in it.
Well, Dick, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're with Jeff Ryder, who's the builder and developer of these Ford row houses. What's it been like to work with the neighborhood association and go through that process as you're developing this place?
It's been very nice. The neighborhood action committee awarded us a grant to help pay for some of the things here, and that has been extremely helpful to see that there is a neighborhood action committee that is looking out for the best interests of these historical communities and willing to give grants. It just helps tremendously.
Looks like you're working on putting some modern touches in here, as well as combining that with the different historical elements, such as the exposed brick.
Yeah, so we want to show this exposed brick from 1879. It's a beautiful masonry work, and we're just adding nice touches to it and really creating a nice urban feel to the apartments.
Well, Jeff, thanks for your time. We look forward to taking a look at this place.
Great, thanks, Stephen.
One of these row houses was once the boyhood home of Raymond Erie, a Lafayette native and Purdue graduate who went on to win 10 Olympic gold medals over the course of 8 years in the early 20th century. The most remarkable part of Erie's story is that he was diagnosed with polio at the age of 7 and told that he would lose the ability to walk. To combat the illness, young Raymond followed an exercise regimen involving plyometrics. Erie was inducted into the Olympic Hall of Fame in 1983. We're here with Michael and Phyllis Hunt at 602 North 5th Street. And Michael and Phyllis are both very actively involved with the Centennial neighborhood. And Michael, maybe you would like to talk just a little bit about what it's been like to restore this home. You guys moved in about 16 years ago, and
right.
you were able to save a lot of the house, but it took a lot of work.
It did take a lot of work. The house was in a very deteriorated situation. So, in June of 1993, we started on the saga of restoring Humpty Dumpty here. It was, as I say, very deteriorated. The overall plan was to restore the house inside and out to be like it was when it was built in approximately 1846, and we have accomplished that. Having said that, the house, which is all furnished with period antiques and so forth, is very comfortable. It has central air conditioning now and heat and so on. So it has all the bells and whistles as far as comfort is concerned in an authentic historic architectural shell.
And if you guys can tell us a little bit about your involvement in some of the things that you try and do to help preserve and revive this neighborhood.
We have a hollyhock festival every year. We just had our third one. The hollyhock is our neighborhood signature flower. So about the time they're in full bloom up at the neighborhood park, we have a festival up there, and we provide food and drinks and just get everyone around together. The public's invited.
Well, it's great to be here today with the Centennial neighborhood. You know, they've done a lot for our community to help with neighborhood stabilization, revitalization, and then this park, you know, a joint effort between the city and the neighborhood. It's really turned out nice.
That'll do it here at Centennial Park for the Hollyhock Festival. If you get a chance sometime, come and check out the park. The Centennial neighborhood includes sections of the town that were platted just 4 years after Mr. Digby laid out the original plat. Several churches call this area home. We're here with Dave Raymer, the CFO of the Tippecanoe Arts Federation. And Dave, if you could tell us a little bit about what the Arts Federation does for the community.
Well, in 1976, TAF was started simply as an arts calendar. As the time went on, it became obvious that Tippecanoe Arts Federation would serve more, a larger role for the community. TAF now serves as the regional arts partner with the Indiana Arts Commission, and we serve a 14-county region. This building's used for many things right now. We have 3 arts galleries that are used for artists and arts organizations to show their work.
Well, we'd love to see some of the building.
Well, let's go take a look. One of the key features of this gallery are the very large windows. They're the original sash for the building. We've also added this gallery lighting so that the artists can shine the lights onto their work in an attractive way. We've also offered for all of the 3D artists pedestals to exhibit their works. Stephen, the most impressive part of this Tippecanoe Arts Federation's Wells building is the exterior front. It's the original limestone, and as you can see, these columns are massive, carved in 1928, placed here, and there are several carvings along the face of the building. Of course, it was a library, so you can see the books and all of the intricate details of the building.
Well, thanks for taking us on a tour and showing us the galleries. Well, that'll wrap up our tour of the Centennial neighborhood. For Tour de Lafayette, I'm Stephen Smith. Remember, preserving the past is preserving the future.